Live via satellite from Hollywood and New York City, it's Rockline, the show where you interview the hottest stars in rock and roll. Hello again, I'm Bob Coburn. Rockline is brought to you in part by Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. Tonight, Rockline is a double bill featuring David Coverdale of Whitesnake, plus all 5 members of Europe. David and I are in our Hollywood Rockline studio. Europe is in New York City. So get your questions ready and call us toll-free in the U.S. and Canada. 1-800-344-ROCK. That's 1-800-344-7625. One number toll-free from anywhere in North America. For Whitesnake, it's been a long time between albums for a lot of different reasons. But the new self-titled LP, Whitesnake, marks a triumphant return for David Coverdale and his ever-evolving band. And Rockline welcomes David Coverdale.
It's getting like an employment exchange.
And there have been some more changes, I guess, in the lineup for the tour, which is imminent. We'll talk about that a little later this evening. Okay. First thing I wanted to ask you is, you took a lot of time for a lot of different reasons, as I said in the introduction. And I guess one of the things that made this album a long, arduous process was that you waited for the right players and when they were available.
Yes, also the people to actually record it and produce it. The biggest interference, of course, was last year. I was very ill, and that took a whole year out of my activities. But I think destiny or karma played a substantial part in that, because had I released this album last year, perhaps the climate wouldn't have been quite as right as now.
Mm-hmm. Now, I heard about your illness. I also heard that it was perhaps a career-threatening illness. Can you fill us in a little bit on
Yeah, it was a sinus infection, which was definitely not drug-related.
Not the devil's dandruff, is
certainly not the DDs, yes. None of that stuff. It was a naturally deviated septum that I was born with. And my doctor in England 10 years ago said that one day it would give me trouble. But nobody wants to go under the knife.
Yeah, definitely.
So I forgot about it very, very conveniently. However, it surfaced at the beginning of '86, and it was all over. I had to go in for surgery, and anyway, it seemed that it's improved the strength of my voice in the top range, and Mrs. Coverdale's little boy is back and kicking.
Well, I tell you have never sounded finer than you have on this latest LP, Whitesnake, and from that album, this is Still of the Night on Rockline on the Global Satellite Network. I heard you do a tongue-in-cheek country and western version of that song.
Yes, on the Still of the Night, I hear the wolf howl, honey. Yeehaw! All that stuff. Country and Whitesnake, it's called.
Country and Whitesnake, CNW. Let's talk to Julie, our first caller tonight. She's in Colorado Springs, Colorado, listening to Kilo 94. Hi, Julie.
Hi.
Hello, Julie.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you, sweetheart?
I'm okay.
Oh, really?
My question was, I was wondering, what's the story behind Still of the Night?
It's a Predator song. It's, you can do a lot in the dark, really. It's just a love hunter song.
A love hunter song. I like that. And Julie, thank you for starting us off. We'll take a brief time out. We're back in just a moment. A little later on, Europe will join us from New York City. David Coverdale, my guest right now. And your number to call to talk with David is toll-free from anywhere in North America. Whitesnake. And we're going to talk with Sheila. She's in Pittsfield, Massachusetts, listening to Albany's Pix 106 in New York State. And Sheila, you're on the Rockline with us. Hi.
Hi.
Hello, Sheila.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good, thanks. Your new album seems to have undergone major evolution from your last one, Slide It In.
Are you a journalist? Good Lord.
Not yet.
Uh-huh.
Was there anything that happened during your absence from the industry that brought about this new direction in your music?
No, the whole plan from the beginning was to utilize state-of-the-art Japanese technology and American production for the first time. It all came, and I worked with a guitar hero for the first time since Mr. Blackmore.
So, some of the things that led to what you perceive as a difference in sound there. It's a deep record, a lot of tracks on it. And thank you, Sheila, for your call. Call again, please.
Yeah.
Let's head to Dallas, Texas now to talk to Jenny. She's listening to Q102. Jenny, meet David Coverdale.
Hi.
Hello, Jenny.
I was wondering if you were invited to the 1987 Texas Jam in July.
Uh-huh. Yes, we are. It's in June, I think. I think it's June the 20th.
It is June the 20th, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What else, Jenny?
Huh?
What else?
He said yes, and I said what else?
Oh, well, are you going to play and everything?
I certainly hope so. I wasn't going to sell ice cream.
Thank you, Jenny. So look for him June 20th at the Texas Jam. And I have some other Texas dates that Whitesnake will be in concert. El Paso on June 23rd, Austin June 25th, San Antonio the 26th, and in Houston on the 27th. We now head to Fall River, Massachusetts to talk to somebody listening to 94 HJY in Providence, Rhode Island. And his name is Kevin. Good evening.
Hi, Dave.
Hello, Kevin. How you doing?
Good, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering why you use a different producer on this album than Slide It In.
Everything's time for a change. You've got to jump in sometimes and look at different things. Keith Olsen remixed the Slide It In for me, album for me, and I was delighted with the work he did, so I was looking forward to working with him, and we did, and it worked out perfectly.
And Mike Stone did some work on the LP, too.
Mike Stone engineered the basic tracks, yeah, but Keith Olsen produced it.
We're going to listen to a song from the album now called Here I Go Again that features the Heart rhythm section of Mark Andes and Denny Carmassi. How did you become involved with them? And it was a great choice, by the way.
Well, I'm a great admirer of Carmassi. He suggested Mark Andes, and I've got a seriously good guitarist out of Nashville called Dan Huff. I mean, there's all, bits and pieces. I like the flexibility working with fresh new people. And it paid off. It came over very well.
The song has a beautiful introduction and then kicks in high gear as we move into it. This is Here I Go Again by Whitesnake on Rockline. Here I Go Again by Whitesnake on Rockline and Bob Coburn with David Coverdale. Are there two versions of that?
Yeah, you played. That's what I was wondering we were talking about, because that was the album version, the more aesthetic version. There's a new version which we're going to sort of give a choice to radio for with Here I Go Again Part 2. So that was the actual album version. There is another version in existence.
I look forward to hearing that.
Indeed.
And let's head back to the telephones here. We're going to talk with Helen in Utica, New York. WOUR 96.9 is our affiliate for that area, for the Utica-Rome area. And Helen, you're on the show with us. Hi.
Hi, David. How are you?
Fine, sweetheart. You?
Oh, I'm fine.
Good.
I have two questions for you, David.
For the new car, yes.
First, I'd like to know how it felt to play with the band Whitesnake at your very first gig at the Skybird Club in Nottingham, England.
That wasn't actually the first gig. The first gig was a college. God, where was it? It was a college anyway, and I've always been credited with playing the Skybird Club, and I've never played it. I wish I'd done a live album from there.
Rockline sets the record straight on that one. What else, Helen?
Number 2.
And I was wondering why the song content is different on the American album as compared to the rest of the world. You left 2 songs out.
Yeah, well, I had 2 substantial hits with Here I Go Again and Crying in the Rain in Europe. That album wasn't released in America. You could only get an album called Saints and Sinners on import. And I was asked if I would do it again, because I featured the songs in concert when I toured America. And it's worked really well. Everybody's very positive about it. But I didn't want to put it on the British version because both songs were quite big hits there.
So there you go, Helen. A couple of good questions. Thank you for calling tonight.
And you've won the new car.
We'll get back to you on that, Helen. Let's talk to Mike now in San Jose, California, listening to 97.3 The Rocker in San Francisco. Hi there.
Hi, Dave.
Hello, Michael. How are you?
I'm fine. I was wondering what your band lineup is going to be.
Have you seen the video, Still of the Night?
Yeah.
It's going to be that band. Apart from the young lady, she doesn't play tambourine and she can't play keyboards. She just looks great.
Is Vivian Campbell going to be in the band?
Vivian Campbell, Adrian Vandenberg, Rudy Sarzo, and Tommy Aldridge. Dangerous.
Definitely. Look out for that one. What else, Mike?
It's going to look great.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks for your call. Call again, all right? Let's talk to Bonnie now as we head down in the southeastern part of the United States to Miami. WSHE is our affiliate. And Bonnie, you're on the rock line.
Hi, David.
Hello, Bonnie. How are you, sweet? What a lovely name.
Thank you. What's the strangest gift you've ever received from a fan?
The strangest gift. The position over, under, sideways, down, I think. Very accommodating, whatever, no. Underwear is always welcome. I don't have a sweet tooth.
You asked for it. You got it there, Bonnie. We'll take a brief time out. We got more rock and roll coming your way. Europe will join us a little bit later on. We're just getting started, however, with David Coverdale, and we're waiting for your call, toll-free from anywhere in North America. There's only one number for the one and only rock line. It's 1-800-344-ROCK. On a little bit later, we're going to go back to the album Ready and Willing now and play a song that you said you wrote this from B.B. King originally.
Originally, the idea was for B.B., yeah.
It's too good of a song to let go of.
I don't know, when he was working with the Crusaders, if you imagine the song just done a little lighter with finger pop bass. But when the band cut the demo, I went, hang on there, big fella.
Fool for Your Lovin' by Whitesnake.
Oh, Fuel for Your Lovin', it was originally called. Because I'm a good man.
Yeah, that's all right.
Sorry,
welcome back. Fool for Your Lovin', Whitesnake. David Coverdale, my guest right now. I'm Bob Coburn. We have a call now from Boron, California. Her name's Debbie, and she's listening to 95.5 KLOS. Hi there, Debbie.
Hi, Dave.
Hello, sweetheart. How are you?
Fine. I was just wondering, you guys are touring with Motley Crue, right?
No one will be safe. Lock up everything that moves. Slithers, wriggles, or crawls.
How did the decision come about? I mean...
Well, I know Vince very well, and it was always mentioned. In fact, I was invited by Vince to do some backup vocals for him on the album. Unfortunately, the time wasn't there, because I like doing oohs and ahs. So professionally as well as privately.
He actually gave you the call and said, why don't you go on tour with us?
Well, it sort of came about, and I'm very friendly with the people who were involved with Motley Crue, so it was an invitation that I welcomed. It's fine. It's going to be the most serious and dangerous tour. The circus will be coming to town.
That'll be a great double bill. Debbie.
Debbie.
Thank you for calling. Talk to us again sometime, okay? Let's head up to Canada now. Vancouver, British Columbia is our destination. We're going to talk to Gary. He's listening to CFOX FM 99. Hi, Gary.
It's a guy.
Oh, know somebody up there, David?
Yeah, I spent 3 months there. Hi, Gary.
Hi, Gary.
How you doing, David?
Fine. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing just fine. I remembered you from Deep Purple days, so it's...
You're the one.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I've got a two-part question for you tonight.
Yes, and for the new Toyota.
Why did you leave Deep Purple?
I think it had run its course. I wasn't having fun anymore, which I don't mean in the superficial sense. It had turned into separate camps around. It was sort of being slowly ground into the ground. And I had a great deal of respect for the history and the respect of Deep Purple. And I thought it was time to move on.
What do you think of the current Deep Purple, the reunion? It's now 2 albums.
Ask me another.
And number 2, Gary?
The second question is, after leaving Deep Purple and before joining Whitesnake, did you ever feel like just leaving the business period?
Leaving the business period? No, not at all. It's the greatest passion that I have is to express myself. And music, I've found, is the most total experience. Particularly, you people are the inspiration to make rock and roll. It's quite simple.
Gary, thanks for being on. I know you'll call again, and we'll welcome your call. Let's talk now to Lisa in Houston, Texas, listening to 101 KLOL. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, David.
Hi, baby.
Hey. I have a couple of questions to ask you, but first I'd like to ask you if you would please say hi to a good friend of mine named Thomas, because he turned me on to all the older Whitesnake albums.
Thank you, Thomas, for turning Lisa on.
Okay. The first question is if you're going to mix a lot of older songs with any of the newer songs in concert?
Yes, it's going to be a solid mixture. I think what I'll be doing is concentrating a lot of the work from Slide It In, but mostly from the new album.
Do you think you'll get more than the 35-minute set that usually is the opening act? You're going to be able to stretch out a little bit?
I think it's going to be to stretch out. Yeah, it's going to be, I think, 45 or 50. Enough time to slide it in, I would imagine.
All right. Thanks, Lisa. We appreciate it. It's Amy's turn now as we head to Rochester, New York. She is listening to 96 WCMF. Amy, you're on the Rockline with us now.
Hi, Dave.
Hello, Amy. How are you?
Good. How are you?
How are you? Good. I'm delighted to hear it. Look forward to seeing you.
Okay, I have a one-sentence question.
Uh-huh.
Since this album took so long to come out, do you have any songs written for the next album?
Yeah, I think if I'd written songs last year when I was ill, it would have been songs to cut your wrist by. Kind of contemporary 80s Leonard Cohen stuff. Yeah, I've got some ideas. I've got one called Slow Poke Music, which I was singing to a friend of mine tonight. I think it's going to be hot.
Do you think it's going to take 3 years this time?
No.
I hope not.
No.
There you are, Amy. Thanks for being on tonight. Let's talk to John in Baltimore. 98 Rock is our affiliate there. Hello, John.
Hi, how you doing tonight?
Fine. I had some crabs there last week.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, they were wonderful.
Great crab cakes.
Okay, question is, in this age of politically and socially conscious rock, where does Whitesnake fit in?
It's on the love drive impetus. It's the horizontal conversational, anatomical conversational. It's the boudoir rock and roll. It's fun with depth.
There you go, John.
I'll leave it up to Paul Simon, I think.
Is this love, if not a reasonable facsimile? Nice touch there. Is This Love from Whitesnake, the self-titled LP featuring David Coverdale, my guest right now. We head back to the telephones. I'm Bob Coburn. You're listening to Rockline. We're going to talk to Freddie now. He's in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, listening to 107.1 WHMD in Hammond, Louisiana. Hi there, Freddie.
Hi, David.
Bonjour, Freddie.
How you doing?
Fine. You?
All right.
Good.
My question is, do you welcome making videos or do you resent them and think they're a pain?
The second part of the first part of both parts are all correct. It's the most exhausting part of being in this circus. It's very, very exhausting. On the still of the night, the shoot was the live performance shoot was 25 hours, and the stuff I did with Tawny was 14. It's very, very tiring. I'm really looking forward next week to doing 2 in 1 week.
Oh boy, it's the old hurry up and wait routine.
Yeah, it's remarkable.
A lot of in between waiting for the action.
It's very, very difficult, but unfortunately with the guys and Tawny and the director, Marty Cowner, and the Cream Cheese people, it was incredible. Everybody worked real hard and strong, and we came up with a very fine video.
Thanks for calling, Freddie. By the way,
Thanks,
I
Freddie.
do not have a date for Baton Rouge, but I do have a date for Shreveport, Louisiana.
Her
That
name is
July
Denise.
1st.
Yeah.
Oh, you already have one lined up, do you? On the 2nd, Biloxi, Mississippi, you can expect Whitesnake there. The 4th of July in Little Rock, Arkansas. And the 5th, Memphis, Tennessee, followed by a Nashville, Tennessee concert on July 7th. Also have a date, as long as we're talking about that part of the country, Oklahoma City on June 30th. We're now going to talk to Grant, who is in Dunbass, Ontario, listening to Toronto's Q107. Grant, you're on the Rockline with us.
Oh, hello, Dave.
Hello, Grant. How are you doing?
Oh, not too bad.
Good.
Dave, my question was, I've followed you since the Burn album with Steve.
And you still haven't caught up.
Yeah. No, actually, what my curiosity has asked me, who were your main vocal influences since your days with Deep Purple up until right now as we're listening to your new album?
Yeah, well, I think the whole influence was black music. Wilson Pickett, Otis Redding, Robert Johnson as a songwriter. Hendrix was incredibly influential on me. I mean, all of the Bobby Bland, you know, the Budman, all of these people who came out and said exactly and expressed exactly how they were feeling. When I was growing up in England, all the people like Herman's Hermits and stuff, the Stones were kept off the radio. But the blues singers, more than anything else, people who you could believe when you heard them singing about feeling good or feeling bad.
I've heard you refer to your music as hard rock, rhythm, and blues. Is that a fair assessment?
That's only after drinks.
Oh, I see. Grant, thanks for being on with us
Thank
tonight.
you, Grant.
Let's talk to Peter now in Petaluma, California, listening to 97.3 The Rocker in San Francisco. Hi, Peter.
Hi, Dave.
Hello, Peter. How you doing?
I'm glad that the new album.
Are you a switchboard operator? You got phones going in the
I
background.
hear one, too. Go ahead, Peter.
I'm glad the new album's doing so well.
Thank you very much. So am I.
And I was wondering what happened to the old band that was played on the album.
It's times for change. It took a long time. This time last year when I was ill, I sat down with the musicians and said, there's no guarantee after this surgery that I will have any voice left. My recommendation would be that you look for a new band or whatever. But I very rarely work with people too long. The new band I'm hoping to really exhaust and keep as stable as possible. Do you know who the new band is?
Are you aware, Peter?
Yeah, you know the people in the video, Adrian Vandenberg, Vivian Campbell, Rudy Sarzo, and Tommy Aldridge?
That's a great band.
They are serious players,
Yeah,
and
I
lovely
bet.
people, too. It's going to be a good time.
There you are, Peter. Thank you for being on. We're going to slide south from Petaluma to Modesto, California, and talk to Marshall, who is listening to 95 KD, or KD. Hello, easy for me to say, KDJK. Hi, Marshall.
Hello?
Yeah.
I'm sorry Bob's being dyslexic. How you doing, Marshall?
Fine, how are you?
Okay. Every Halloween I play Trick or Trout.
My question for you is, what is it like for you to go from a headlining status all over the world to an opening act in the United States?
It's fine. I love opening for people. I don't mind at all. The situation is that it's been 3 years, and the most delightful experience is having this album do so well. I look forward to it. I'm very grateful to Motley Crue for inviting me on the tour, and I think it's going to be a seriously good package. I think you're going to have fun, Marshall.
There you go, Marshall. Thank you for being on. And the station, of course, is KDJK. Got it right that time. Let's talk to Mike. Mike is in Roland Park, Kansas, listening to KY 102 in Kansas City. Mike, meet David Coverdale.
Hello, David.
Hello, Michael.
Sounds like you had a tough time when you were sick.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, sounds like
So
it.
you write your own lyrics, so I wanted to ask you what was the most bizarre subject or theme that you'd come up with in a song.
There were 2 songs I wrote to keep Lionel Richie Blackmore happy, which was the Burn song and a song called Stormbringer. They were like science fiction poems. And I feel much more to write about my physical or emotional experience and observations.
There you are, Mike. Thank you for your call and for being on the Rockline tonight. We definitely appreciate it. Your number to call to talk with David Coverdale is toll-free. It's 1-800-344-ROCK. Europe will be on a little bit later. Coming up in just a moment, another song from Whitesnake, the latest LP by David
Hurry
Coverdale.
up before they wrap me up.
We are talking rock and roll on the Global Satellite Network. Europe will join me in just a few moments. We're with David Coverdale right now, and we crank up the Rockline compact disc player for this one. This is Give Me All Your Love on Rockline. Whitesnake on Rockline, Give Me All Your Love. I'm Bob Coburn. We're with David Coverdale. Got time for some more calls here, David. We're going to talk with Ken in Rahway, New Jersey, listening to 92.3 K-Rock in New York City. Hi, Ken.
Hi there again, Bob and Dave, and I'm going to coin a brand new term tonight on Rockline.
Here we go.
Brand new catchphrase.
Yes.
Okay.
When I have a song or songs that I can't get enough of, no matter how many times I hear them, I call them musical drugs, okay? And I'll tell you why I mention it. Whitesnake's Still of the Night is one of them,
Yeah.
okay? And I'd like to ask you, Dave,
you are going to be playing Texas Gem in Dallas on the 20th of June, as they mentioned earlier.
That's right, Ken.
And I was wondering, how do you prepare for a large stadium-type show with all those fans and with that very little eye contact that you get in some of the smaller places?
Which part of the first part do you want me to answer? Usually herbal tranquilizers. No, just prepare as much as possible. The excitement, the adrenaline that goes down when you sort of hit the stage is very, very exciting. Before, it's really nervous. And if everything's working right, it should be fun. A lot of fun.
Is that the first date back?
Yeah, I'm not doing any warm-ups. It's going to be jumping into the deep end.
It's kind of the last thing you did was the Rock in Rio back in '85, which was also a huge concert.
Yeah, it was 500,000 people.
Oh.
Wherever you could see, it was arms waving and stuff. It was phenomenal. But it didn't make up for like 2.5 years of inactivity in terms of public.
It's amazing to me to just segue from one to the other with that 2.5-year period. It's like you've never missed a beat, right back into the major concert.
Yeah.
Ken, thanks for being on again. We'll talk to you next week probably. Let's talk to Luann now. He calls all the time. Let's talk to Luann.
Thank you, Ken.
In Cleveland, Ohio, listening to WMMS on the North Coast there. Hi, Luann.
Hi.
Hello, sweetheart.
Hi. I just want to tell you that I saw you in Cleveland with Armored Saint and Quiet Riot in '84, and I had no energy left for Quiet Riot. Loved you guys. You were great.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. My question is, when you write your songs, do you gear them more towards the U.S. popularity or the overseas?
Oh, sorry. Do I what?
When you write the songs, do you gear them more towards the popularity?
Oh, I understand. No, I just write songs. It's quite simple. And then hopefully you like them. Or don't.
Yeah, it becomes up to the audience.
Yeah, there's no compromise on that. It's just, I just write songs. That's it.
Thanks for being on, Luann. I have some Midwestern concert dates, including one for Cleveland, the 25th of July, the 31st in Pittsburgh, and then all of these dates are in July. On the 8th, St. Louis, the 10th, Wichita, the 11th, Kansas City, Des Moines, the 12th, the 14th, St. Paul, Milwaukee, July 15th, then the 16th in Chicago, the 18th in Indianapolis, 2 dates in Detroit, the 19th and 20th, Cincinnati on the 23rd, and Columbus the 24th. Time for another call for David Coverdale. It's Maggie in San Ramon, California, listening to 97.3, The Rocker in San Francisco. Hi, Maggie.
Hey, how you doing, David?
Fine, Maggie. How are you?
Cool.
Wow.
I gotta tell you, you're beautiful, and your voice is better than ever.
Thank you, Maggie. Manage me. Marry me. Have my children.
There are no pictures of you or the band on any cover or inside jacket of this album or your last album. Why?
Well, we like to leave it as a surprise. More so for me, because I never know who's going to be in the band.
Never take photos.
No, yeah. No, I hope you're not going to be disappointed. The band that we put together is going to be real strong.
There you go, Maggie. Thank you for calling and for being on tonight. And David, thank you for being on this evening. Good luck June 20th to kick things off at Texas Jam.
Indeed, yeah, thank you very much.
Great concert. The dates that I mentioned, by the way, are just partial. I understand you'll swing up in toward New York State sometime in August. And
from what I understand, it's a true pregnancy tour. It's a 9-month
tour.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Nothing will be safe.
I tell you, this is a terrific album this time, and it's selling incredibly well. And I congratulate you and wish you a lot of success. And thanks for being here.
Thank you, Bob. And I'd like to thank everybody for helping this album be so successful.